Good afternoon. I'm Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today is Monday, November 24th, and this is our weekly briefing. We're going to have a bunch of great things happening. We're here on the road here at Lasden Public Gardens and Veterans Memorial up in Katona, and we are having a great time, and we're going to talk a lot more about what's happening here and the winter festivities that are going to happen here up at Lasden Public Gardens and Veterans Memorial. But first, we want to start out and say that our hearts are with the many families, the over 100 families in the great city of Mount Vernon who sadly woke up on Sunday morning without a home. Over the weekend, emergency crews battled a massive fire at an apartment building on Cottage Street in Mount Vernon. The 5-alarm fire broke out around 3 o'clock in the morning. And again, that was on Cottage Avenue in Mount Vernon. The building had 80 units, and it was home to over 100 individuals. Between 50 and 75 firefighters spent more than 8 hours battling the blaze, mostly on the roof and on the 7-story building. We want to certainly start by thanking the Mount Vernon firefighters for their work in saving lives. But there were so many other folks that were helpful in that. And it certainly, as a 5-alarm fire, you go into mutual aid. So we want to first thank from the county, the 60 Control Emergency Communication Centers, and the 2 field communications units that went out to deal with this. Fire Battalion Commander Thomas Moriarty, Fire Chief Mark Iannucci, the EMS Zone Coordinator David Raisin, and our Emergency Management Director Matt Kovler, and AMR, the Westchester Department of Social Services, the American Red Cross, and from all those local fire departments that came out on mutual aid, certainly starting with the city of Mount Vernon and the Emergency Medical Services led by Chief Peralta and Chief Lang, Empress EMS Services, the city of Yonkers, the city of New Rochelle, city of White Plains, Hartsdale, Pelham Manor, town of Eastchester, Larchmont Village, and the Greenville fire departments. All of those departments came out working together to battle that 5-alarm fire, and we want to continue to thank them and the professionalism that they always display every day. The residents of 30 Cottage Street apartment building were displaced by that fire. They have temporary housing right now at the Holmes Elementary School, which is on 195 North Columbus Avenue in Mount Vernon. Donations are being accepted at the Doles Recreation Center. And again, there was so many people that came out and pulled together from all around the county, but certainly starting with the people of the city of Mount Vernon, making sure that people had food. There was a diner that was providing food for everyone at the Holmes Elementary School, as well as the Doles Recreation Center. Everyone mobilized to come out, and unfortunately, the injuries right now, we're told there was a total of 7 people that were injured, but certainly during this particular time of the year, during Thanksgiving week and certainly going into the holiday season, it's certainly something that no one wants to face. And again, the people of Mount Vernon and people around Westchester County and all those professionals that came out to make sure to support them during this particular time, we want to say thank you again, and our hearts are with all of the people from Cottage Avenue in the city of Mount Vernon and everyone else that's been impacted. So again, our hearts are with them today. Our municipal guest today is no one that is a stranger to us here. When we come up here to the town of Bedford, she has done a fantastic job. I wanted to make sure to give her a super shout out because she was with us at Ward Pound Bridge, and she and her husband did the challenge, the 100-mile challenge that I only do in my car. So again, the supervisor of the town of Bedford, a great friend, Ellen Calves, come up. She's going to give us some updates about everything going on in the town of Bedford, and we want to say congratulations to her again on her victory on November 4th.
Thank you, County Executive. Thank you for making this opportunity available. I'm grateful to have this platform to showcase the town of Bedford and our progress, but I do first want to acknowledge the great partnership we have with the county. We get support for such things as downtown improvement, for housing, for infrastructure, addressing challenges with civil service, and also even helping individuals who have failing septic systems. So thank you to County Executive Jenkins and his team for your cooperation. I'm proud to serve the residents of the town of Bedford, where I am about to enter my third term as town supervisor, and I could not be more excited about what we have accomplished and the road ahead. By way of background, the town of Bedford comprises 3 unique hamlets: Katona, Bedford Hills, and Bedford Village. We are in a bucolic setting in northern Westchester, covering 39.3 square miles. Residents and visitors of our town are served by 3 volunteer fire departments and an ambulance corps, 3 independent libraries, and enriched by a range of cultural and historic and artistic opportunities through world-class institutions, including Caramore, the Katona Museum of Art, the Bedford Playhouse, and the John Jay Homestead, where the state is about to undergo a $30 million restoration of the Jay House. So we're looking forward to that to be concluded in 2028. We're also fortunate to be situated so close to the best county parks with wonderful trails and engaging activities. Where we are today at Lasden, nearby Mesquite Farm, Hilltop Hanover Environmental Center and Farm, and also the Ward Pound Ridge Reservation, where we go hiking all the time. As I head into the upcoming year, my colleagues and I on the town board are happy to have nearly finished our budget for 2026 and proud that we are in a strong financial position. We have recently been renewed with a AAA rating from S&P Global, and we will continue our high level of quality services remaining under the tax cap next year. These services mainly focus on resident safety and wellness and community and economic vibrancy. So permit me to discuss that a little more. On the safety and wellness side, my colleagues and I on the town board support our police department in a variety of ways. We have an exciting new radio communications system that is underway from over $1 million grant for technology from the state. This is including equipment to improve police communications coverage in remote areas and inside buildings. And this, combined with improved cell service, will improve response times and safety for our residents and for first responders in emergencies. We have a state-of-the-art fleet for our police force, including 5 electric vehicles and fast charging infrastructure to ensure those vehicles can have a quick turnaround and be out on the roads. And we have robust training for our officers, including how to support victims in domestic violence situations and training to better understand dealing with individuals with autism and neurodivergent abilities. That's part of our inclusive initiative. We believe that when our residents see our police in friendly and inviting settings, that also creates trust and strong relationships in a safer community. So we've been doing a lot of things through the police department to host opportunities for the community, including a recent pizza with police on Friday night that was pretty well attended. Our police department also attracts a lot of children to meet them through their new giant Bedford police car bounce house that shows up at community events and is powered by their quiet electric vehicles. We are working on infrastructure to ensure that our streets are safe for vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists. We have many improvements that have happened over the last year or two and has earned us the Traffic Safety Award from AAA. We also work towards completing a path between Bedford Hills and Katona for walking and biking, and we continue advocating for repaving of Route 117 at Exit 39 in Bedford Hills. We are improving infrastructure to improve the environment and be more resilient for the future. Over the past few years, we have enabled sewer connections to multiple properties in town thanks to funding with the state and county. This has allowed for the decommissioning of old septic systems and cesspools to protect water quality. It's also increased capacity, so we've seen new uses like restaurants and apartments that used to be office space. We continue to move ahead clean water solutions in Bedford Village, in the districts there where there's PFAS contamination. So we're drilling new wells, and infrastructure will be completed by next year. And finally, we have open space that promotes water quality, environmental resiliency as well. We've worked with the Westchester Land Trust to obtain open space near the Mesquite Reservoir, and we'll continue to promote water quality preservation there. Finally, on our climate action front, we have been decarbonizing many buildings, our community house, our office buildings, and now we're working towards energy efficiency improvements in our 100-year-old townhouse. We partner with a lot of nonprofits, business associations, and support activity in our 3 hamlets. And we have a business promoter who has been working hard with our 3 chambers to see a lot of different activities there. So we are supporting economic vibrancy. We had the Bedford Village Art Crawl last weekend. The village brought the Ticking Tent, which brought hundreds of shoppers and visitors to Bedford Village. Katona saw the first Westchester Book Festival, which was really well attended and brought a lot of famous authors to our community. Katona has the Art Walk in the summer, and we'll be doing the holiday art stroll and shopping stroll the evening of December 12th. And Bedford Hills will host a holiday market on December 6th. So lots of great reasons to come to our hamlets. We want to thank the county for the opportunity to move the Bedford Hills Hamlet forward with a $250,000 grant for the Downtown Improvement Program. We are working on facade improvements, wayfinding signage, and station improvements. And that includes working to get a subtenant in the Bedford Hills train station. We're negotiating to try to have a fall opening for a cafe or restaurant in the train station. So that's an exciting thing ahead. Another component of economic vibrancy that we're challenged by is housing and affordable housing. We have had a lot of community conversations underway, including a panel with Commissioner Blanca Lopez from the Westchester County Planning Department and our Blue Mountain Housing Development Corporation a couple weeks ago, which was well received by community members, and we're looking forward to more progress on housing opportunities. And finally, we have a lot of local community efforts. These guide our priorities, and a lot of our not-for-profits help shape how we're moving forward with public-private partnerships. So some of the things we have underway on that front is a Veterans Banner Program that went up this year for Veterans Day in collaboration with the Veterans Advisory Committee, where we installed banners recognizing residents who are veterans and active duty military members. We held a historic preservation event last week, which was very popular, showcasing historic properties and educating and elevating historic building preservation efforts. We are forming our coalition to Rev Up in 2026. Plans are underway throughout the community for our 250th commemoration of our shared American values set forth in the Declaration of Independence and fought for in the Revolution that we continue to rev up 250 years later and going forward. We are helping support volunteerism by hosting a first responder night in January to encourage community support of these important agencies, and we help the community stay connected to what's happening in town from both a municipal standpoint and government leadership by putting out a newsletter every Friday where we help keep the community informed. So once again, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to share our progress and our partnerships in the town of Bedford here today as you kick off the holiday season at Lasden. So happy holidays to all. Thank you.
That was so great. That was Ellen Calvez, our supervisor from the town of Bedford. I'm talking about the hamlets that are included inside of the town of Bedford. But there are so many exciting things that are happening in whether you're down in Katona or anywhere else throughout the town. It is so fantastic. And Supervisor Calvez was talking about the leadership that Bedford has as far as environment is concerned, and whether that's protecting drinking water. People got to recognize that we have most of the New York City water supply that we utilize in the down county starts up here. Right, and then talking about the Revolutionary 250 and all of the history that is here. We in Westchester are so blessed to have so many pieces of American history that started right here in our county, and Bedford is no exception to that, and we are looking forward to all of the work that continues to go on. So whether you're looking as far as the environment is concerned with Bedford 2030 and the great team that's around that and all of the activity that's around there, there's so many great things that are happening in the hamlet. resorts, great restaurants. I just always like to say LMNOP just because it's just so cool to say that way for one of those particular restaurants in the area in Katona. So again, thank you so much again, Supervisor Ellen Calves, and letting us know everything that's happening in the town of Bedford. And it's an opportunity to see that, whether it's for art, whether it's entertainment, whether it's just protecting the environment, that you continue to do a fantastic job in managing up in the town of Bedford. Switching gears, we know that at the end of the year, the Omni system is going in place in New York City. The Metro card is being phased out for them, but we still have many pieces of work to do in Westchester County before we're ready to turn on the whole system. You may see, if you're traveling on our public transportation on the Beeline system, you'll see the Omni system being installed, but until it is fully installed across the entire system, it will not be turned on. So again, we have gotten so many emails and calls about it because they think that it's up and running already. We know that there's challenges in trying to understand where those locations are to either pick up a Metro card, but at the same time getting prepared for 2026, the Omni retail locations are going to be posted. And again, we're working with everyone and inviting all of our residents to help shape that rollout of the Omni retail network by nominating those local businesses where they would like to purchase and reload Omni cards once the system launches for the Beeline riders in early 2026. The Omni rollout will introduce the same tap-to-pay system currently used in New York City. Riders will be able to tap their phone, credit card, or an Omni card itself to pay fares, while the retail network will provide a familiar and accessible option for loading value in purchasing those new Omni cars, OMNY. This modernization is designed to streamline travel, provide Westchester riders with the same speed, flexibility, and simplicity enjoyed by the millions of riders across the region. So we want you to tell us exactly where those Omni card reader access points should be and where they would help you the most. So you can nominate a business right now by completing the Omni retail nomination form. You'll have the link that's on the screen, but also if you go to westchestergov.com, we'll make sure that there's a nice, easy way to click right there to be able to nominate a retail provider. The form provides information for the store owners who may be interested in joining the Omni retail network as well. There's no cost for businesses for participation. So also, a final reminder, for the first time in Westchester's history, the county's Beeline bus system will operate for service on Thanksgiving and on Christmas. So on Thursday, November 27th, Thanksgiving, this Thursday, and on Thursday, December 25th, the Beeline's going to operate on a Sunday schedule for both fixed route and paratransit riders. And that's so very important for those folks that need to utilize public transportation, specifically on the paratransit side, which people know that if the bus is not running, paratransit does not run as well. So this is great, and we really appreciate all the work from our partners at Liberty Line and all those workers that need to be able to help support that in our paratransit system. So again, November 27th, this Thanksgiving, the Beeline will be operating on a Sunday schedule. So thanks so much. Up next, because we did just talk about Thanksgiving, we're going to have our Deputy Commissioner of the Westchester County Department of Health, Chris Erickson, come up and make sure to tell us everything, because we encourage our residents to place gratitude as well as good health on their Thanksgiving menu by supporting neighbors in need and following healthy holiday habits. Every year, the County Department of Health reminds residents how to handle food safely to prevent illnesses when preparing a turkey or anything else. So with that, let's turn over to Chris Erickson, our Deputy Commissioner at DOH.
So thank you again, County Executive Jenkins, for having us here today. As we enter the holiday season, the Westchester County Department of Health would like to remind residents of a few simple precautions that we can take to help ensure a safe, healthy, and enjoyable celebration. When preparing a turkey, always thaw it in a pan in the refrigerator. A good rule of thumb is to allow 1 full day of defrosting for every 4 to 5 pounds of turkey. So a 16-pound bird will need approximately 4 days to thaw completely. Once thawed, season the turkey without rinsing it. We really tell people that washing the raw poultry can spread bacteria around the kitchen, increasing the risk of foodborne illness. So as though we think we might want to wash the turkey, it's actually causes more problems than it's actually worth. On Thanksgiving Day, our family actually likes to start the day with a nice brisk walk. It makes us feel better about the amount of food that we're going to be eating the rest of the day. So we get our friends out there, go for a walk. And when we're with friends and families gathering, it's also easy for us to get colds and respiratory viruses or spread through that. So we encourage everyone to make frequent hand washing and routine a part of their holiday. Wash your hands after greeting guests, before enjoying appetizers, and whenever moving between tasks in the kitchen. Flu season is definitely underway, and with respiratory viruses circulating, good hand hygiene is one of the simplest and most effective ways that we can stay healthy out there. So for the holiday host and the kitchen helpers that are out there, following these practices will help keep the feast both delicious and safe. So keep raw meat and poultry and their juices separate from ready-to-eat foods. Refrigerators tend to overflow this time of year. Mine this morning, I opened up the door and it looked a little bit like a Tetris puzzle in there. So be sure to keep those raw meats stored on the lowest shelf with produce and foods prepared above them. Use separate cutting boards, plates, and utensils for raw turkey to prevent cross-contamination, which is super important. And wash any boards or utensils that come into contact with raw meat. And so use soapy warm water or put it in the dishwasher before using them again. Rinse all fruits and vegetables under cool running water to remove any surface dirt preparing or serving them. Some people like to scrub them a little bit with a brush. Cook turkey and stuffing to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, checking the thickest part of the thigh. And if you have a thermometer, I have one of these in my pocket here. This is a high-tech one, but you can use one's just a simple metal stem thermometer to check the temperature on it. So it's important to have one of those so you're not just taking a guess at it. Refrigerate the turkey and the stuffing and the side dishes within 2 hours of serving it to keep them safe for later and enjoyment. And if you're indulging in leftovers, whether later at night or the next day, reheat them to at least 165 degrees again before eating. And of course, after dinner, I recommend a nice walk, maybe to help balance that meal and make some room, of course, for pie, right? So good to kind of walk at the beginning, walk at the end, feel a little bit better about yourself. And then finally, the staff here at the Westchester County Department of Health, we all wish you a very healthy, safe, and joyful holiday season. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for all of those tips. And again, those are online as well. If you go to westchestergov.com or health.westchestergov.com, you'll see those hints that are always there, those good practices. Supervisor Calvez said that there's family members that said that you should be preparing early this week. So when we bring up the nationally accredited and award-winning park system, they'll tell you where you can walk to get yourself ready and to staff up and eat up so you could be prepared and well-trained and ready to rock and roll on Thanksgiving. But all of those hints, whether those were hints and tips to make sure that you're going to have a healthy and safe holiday season here at Thanksgiving, and when there's just so much food involved, to be able to do that proper storage is always important. Even though it's much colder outside than when we talk about this in the summer, it's still the same precautions that need to be taken place when you refrigerate after 2 hours to make sure that you can continue to enjoy that and make sure that you can bring them to any of those holiday Thanksgiving leftovers to your friends at work on Monday. That means you need to make sure to prepare appropriately because the last thing we would want to have is some unfortunate accident at work because the storage wasn't done properly. And Chris Erickson and the Department of Health team would be upset about that. So again, make sure that you take this opportunity to take heed of those suggestions to make sure that we have a wonderful holiday season. And if you didn't, make sure to have your vaccinations for COVID and flu. It's probably a little bit on the edge of being too late for those to be effective by Thursday. Today being Monday, you usually take about 5 or 6 days before those really kick in. But you should still do those and make sure to wash your hands is appropriate. Hand sanitizer and all those things are always good to go. So again, thanks so much, our Deputy Commissioner Chris Erickson. At this time, when we're going to continue now, because we are talking here in our Lasden Public Gardens and Veterans Memorial, I'm talking about Holidays on the Hill. And this is an exciting time for our Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Department and divisions and everything that's going on. Starting off with this weekend, we went through this weekend with Novemberfest. For the first time, we did a walk kind of tour with vendors, et cetera, just like in the old days of Winter Wonderland. But it was a beautiful weekend, which Commissioner O'Connor made sure to take credit for, because she takes credit for the great weather. And when it's bad weather, it's the deputy commissioner's fault, right? And that kind of thing. So that's why we're here today, because we want to talk about the Holiday on the Hills train shows, the all new things that are happening, and the opportunities with doing so many different things on the Holidays on the Hill, enjoying our outdoors. And with that, let me bring this up from Westchester County Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Commissioner, Kathy O'Connor, and certainly our first Deputy Commissioner, Peter Tartaglia. I thought I saw other Deputy Commissioner, William Bland, as well, but that might have just been a flash in the pan to do that. So, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, County Executive Jenkins. We're so excited to be in this building kicking off Holiday on the Hill. I think it's important to note the history behind this show. For many, many years, the train show, the holiday train show, was set up in the main building. But it got so popular and so many people wanted to attend. And then we were lucky enough to have this conservatory built that it certainly made sense to move everything down here. And we're so excited that we did, because we can handle way more people. It's amazing, the detail. If you walk around, every time I look, I see something that I never saw before. But the detail and the inspiration by the staff is very, very prevalent in this building. I think it's important to note that the Conservation Division of the Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Department has come light years over the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, on really coming up with fabulous program. It's educational coming here to Lasden, but it's also a lot of fun. And this event, which starts November 29th, Saturday, November 29th, and runs through special days through December 31st, is one of those fabulous events that has grown tremendously. As I said, the detail, and this show this year is a little bit different in that it's not all flat. We've raised it up, and actually bigger people can get to see even more than just looking down. So we're very excited. The park is headed up by Jessica Schuler, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. But under Jessica, we have Carol Genovese. We have Alana Green, a younger person that's working with us. We have our curator, Gigi Carnes. We have Sam Melaniff. We have Louis Antonelli, and a lot of volunteers that you can imagine the time that has to go into doing this event. I was told they started more or less the beginning of the summer. And then we just have finalized it. They're almost done, and I love the village on the way in. It's 50 degrees out, but when you come into something like this, it really gets you into the holiday spirit. So I thank them for that. This event, excuse me, this park, as I said, does a whole lot of things year-round. There are, as Deputy Commissioner Erickson mentioned, and I was going to say, it's great to walk before you eat, and it's really great to walk after you eat. And come out, not just to here to Lasden, because we have 51 facilities. We have over 200 miles of beautiful pathway. And that's a great idea, Chris. I really love that, to grab your friends and family and get together right before it or after it, whichever, and enjoy nature as well as the dinner and everything else. I'd like to thank our first deputy, Peter Tartaglia, who's standing behind me, and our deputy commissioner, William Bland. We work collaboratively and collectively all the time. We couldn't do what we do without the support of everybody in the department. And I'm so proud to be the commissioner of this department. And I also want to thank the Friends of Lasden, who certainly are supportive of everything that they do here. But as always, I have to give a true shout out to our county executive, Ken Jenkins, who really is a friend and supporter of our department, and it really makes a tremendous difference. I've worked here a long time. He is my 7th county executive and the best. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you, happy holidays, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody, safe and healthy, and come and visit. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And before you go out, because we're getting ready to kick off the show at this point in time with some help from Santa himself. So Santa's going to come in and.
Hello, Ken. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Hello, folks. Welcome to Lasden. It's a time for us to turn on the trains and start the show. We'll be opening this weekend, Saturday, so get your tickets. All righty.
Thanks, Santa. The train show is going to kick off again with whimsical scenes. It is so fantastic. It's been 100% rebuilt, so if you were here before, it is a nice time to be on Holiday at the Hills. Let's go kick it off, right?
Right up there, sir.
Sam.
Let's start with the Christmas table.
Ready? Here we go.
Get away, Stan.
All right, so now we got the trains running on the Holiday of the Hill. We want to make sure to have everyone remember to come by the Lasden Public Gardens and Veterans Memorial. We have our friends of Lasden, all of our folks from PRC, Parks, Recreation, and Conservation. We want to say thank you to our supervisor of the town of Bedford, Ellen Calvez, and everyone that's working together. Make sure you listen to those things from Chris Erickson and the Department of Health on a good Thanksgiving. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Have a very happy Thanksgiving, and make sure you think about those who might not have what you have. Have a great day.